Subscribe to Get Curried and click on the bell icon for more updates.
A good, wholesome and healthy stock generally forms the basis or foundation of French cooking. Well, not just French cooking, it's also important for any home cooking. Hey guys, it's the Bombay Chef Varun and welcome to Get Curried. Today, let's see how to make a basic chicken stock. Well, there are 4 words here which you should not be confused with: stock, soup, bouillon and broth. Well, a bouillon and a broth are just the same things. Soup, of course, we all know what it is. What we are making today is actually a stock. Well, this one is a carcass of chicken. This is also known as chicken bones. What I'm doing is I'm blanching this in hot and boiling water. Now, the question is, how did we get the bones? It's very simple. All you need to do is debone the entire chicken. We need to get the boneless meat out, and we of course need to get the bones out. If you want to see a detailed video, check the description box below. There is a link. Well, now if you come a little closer and observe, there's a lot of scum and impurities that have actually raised right on top of the liquid. Like I say again, it's a very important step. Otherwise, your stock would generally turn cloudy in color, and you do not want that. It has to be nice, clean, clear, and absolutely flavorful and full-bodied. The bone is now ready to go straight in the stock pot. This water needs to be thrown off and is not to be used. Let's now move on to the recipe, and for this let me introduce you to 3 very critical ingredients in the kitchen while making stock. Now this classically is known as the mirepoix. The mirepoix technically has 3 ingredients: carrots, onions and celery. Now you do not need to get into any peeling or anything of that kind. All you need to do is cut this right away like so, with the skin, with the root, with everything in place. Just cut it roughly like so. And this now straight goes in the stock pot. So first, let's begin with some red onions. The next thing that goes in are some carrots, roughly cut. The final thing is some celery. Now again, like I'm saying again, there's no recipe as such. All you need to do is snip this randomly. The stalk, the leaves, everything can go in this. And with this, I'm also adding in some water. With this, let's turn the flame on and let's bubble this and boil this on absolute high flame. One thing that's important to note while making stock is that you always need to begin with cold water in the pan. Never begin with hot water, because with cold water, as the water starts heating up, it starts releasing a lot of flavor from the bones. So far, I've introduced you to 3 things: the water, its temperature, the chicken, which is the cleaning of the chicken and the bones, and the third one is the mirepoix. Let's come into the 4th component, and that is also a very technical component called the Bouguet Garni. Bouguet Garni has 3 ingredients primarily, and the 4th ingredient is actually subjective. Some chefs use it, some don't, but that's a personal choice. Now the primary 3 ingredients are fresh thyme leaves, bay leaves and stalks of parsley. Well, of course, I'm not going to use a lot of parsley, just a few stalks, and that's about it. Well, technically, what's done in the kitchens is you take a thread and you get all these 3 ingredients together. You bundle these up, and that's where the word comes in, which is a Bouguet Garni, which is nothing but a set of these 3 ingredients. But I'm not doing that. I'm dropping in these 3 ingredients separately in the stock pot. Let's now come to the 4th ingredient of the Bouguet Garni, which is actually optional, and those are peppercorns. I love using peppercorns, and I'm adding a generous serving of peppercorns here. 1 quick stir, and allow this to boil on high flame for a minimum of 15 minutes. Then let's see what next. Our stock has been bubbling gloriously for the last 15 minutes. Now the time is to start skimming. Now it's very important because you want a nice and clean and clear stock. So this step is very important. Well, just as an idea for you, in your own home kitchens, if you want to make this stock nice, full-bodied and intense, you could also roast the bones. What I did is I blanched the bones, but what you could do is roast it in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes. Let it caramelize nicely and beautifully. Your stock will further get an additional flavor note. The stock is on a gentle simmer for the last 45 minutes, and if you come a little closer and have a look, this is now become nice and full-bodied. If you also see, there's also some fat which has been released from the bones, and that's the stage when you actually need to turn this off Allow this to settle for 10 to 15 minutes and then strain this or sieve this. Well, I don't know if you've noticed properly or not, but I've not added salt while making this stock. And that's deliberately done so because this stock is going to be used for multiple purposes. Whether you want to add it to gravies, to soups, or to stews, well, salt would be added at that stage as and when required. So at this stage, do not get tempted to add in salt. I've strained this well. With this, your full-bodied and flavoursome chicken stock is ready to be used for multiple purposes. This can also be frozen and kept well for further use. All you need to do is let this come down to room temperature, then transfer this into containers which are freezer-friendly. You'll realize and notice that you'll develop a fat that comes on top. Just skim it off on day 2 and your stock is ready to be used. On that note, I'm most definite you've enjoyed watching this, but I'll be happy if you also make this in your home kitchens. Do not forget to like and share this video and subscribe to Get Curried.